the experience of a lifetime.
Transformative.
Inspirational.
It's something that I'm going to look back on for many years, and I'm always going to think, I'm glad that I did it.
With the American Jewish Society for Service, we place students in a kind of America that they've never seen before. And I think that the impact that leaves them is something that very, very few 16-year-olds, especially the 16-year-olds that we're working with, would ever see otherwise.
A huge aspect of Judaism is Tikkun Olam, and the idea that you should try to help rebuild the world and help those in need.
It literally means fixing the world. That's literally what it means. So, and what we're doing here, that would be Tikkun Olam, just one thing at a time, helping one person that affects everybody in the long run.
Compassion, family. You can't have social justice without Judaism. In that way, this program brings those two together, I think very effectively and at the most appropriate age.
We have a lot of New York, a lot of Massachusetts, and then we have one girl from Canada and one from France, but no one from the South. And Arkansas definitely has its own culture, its own little quirks, and to be kind of thrown into that, we're all kind of learning as a group about different things that are a lot different in the South.
I mean, the first couple days were really awkward for everyone because you're sort of sitting there and you want to make conversation, but you don't really know anyone around you, and you just kind of end up sitting there and making really pointless conversation. But then by the end of the first week, everyone's best friends, and you know so much about people. And sort of now it's hard to imagine not knowing these people ever, and it seems so weird that 4 weeks ago I never knew them, and some of them have become such close friends.
We were working at a church called the Promised Land Church. This guy who works at the church came up to us and just asked us where we were from so that when he had his service on Sunday, he could tell everybody where these kids were from. Just serving people it's intertwined with Judaism. I think that makes them see the value of Judaism and also with community service.
I don't see myself pursuing a career in carpentry or engineering or architecture, but I still think that these are good values to learn. Doing things for other people and being selfless. Selflessness is a good value. Generosity, just being able to give and not expect anything in return. Being empathetic, thinking on other people's level, and being able to try to imagine what it's like to be at this point where you don't have a home, and if these people don't finish, then you won't have a home.
We've gone bowling, we've gone to both indoor and outdoor movies. We went to the 4th of July fireworks down by the riverfront.
Oh, the weekends are so much fun. We go on trips. The first weekend we went to the Ozark Mountains, which was really fun, and the rec committee for the week chooses what we do over the weekend, and they get to help make plans, and they decide what sort of activities we're going to do. Even the first weekend where we didn't leave Little Rock, they decided what parts of Little Rock we'd explore, so the weekends are a lot of fun.
Right now we have about 10 tractor trailer loads of vegetables that cannot feed anybody until they're labeled. So when you think about hundreds of thousands of hungry people waiting for volunteers so they can have food. So that's why we're so thrilled when this group comes, and they work so hard and they do so much, because then food no longer is sitting in a warehouse. It's going immediately into homes of people who otherwise might have nothing to eat.
Rice Depot is the biggest distributor of food in Arkansas, and you go inside, you just see cans upon cans just everywhere. The people don't allow them to give out the cans unless they're labeled. So we have to sort out all the different cans and label them.
We wake up anywhere between 6:45 to 7. We have 45 minutes to eat breakfast and dress and get ready for the day. We work until probably 3. Whatever, all the work that we can do that day is done.
Just put your hand again.
You're assigned a weekly committee, either Shabbat, meal, recreation, or spirit. And you're also assigned a daily crew with the same people, breakfast, lunch, dinner, or house cleanup. And so you work your daily crew and your committee.
Yeah, it's much different having all this responsibility. And I've never had to cook my own meals before, or like doing laundry. That was a first for me.
Okay. Colors.
Super cycle? Do I need a super cycle?
Who else is on Shabbat committee? We're gonna have a little powwow.
Everybody's responsible for each other. So if one person's slacking off, then nothing goes well. Everybody's sort of looking out for each other.
They understand what they're doing right now on a certain level. They all feel really good about themselves after they build a railing, after a whole week of building houses or working at the Rice Depot or whatever kind of service they're doing. And then after 6 weeks, being like, this is what I did this summer. You were at camp. I was building houses for other people.
Basically, I just thought that we're gonna be building a house, the inside of the house and the outside. I didn't really think we were gonna be working on churches or working under the bridge and at the can factory. I didn't think of that, but doing that now, it's amazing and it's a great experience.
I think I learned that pretty much everywhere you go, people are always in need, and no matter what religion or what ethnicity they are, they all have the same problems. And that I think the people here have learned that Jews really aren't that different from them at all. Just kind of how we pray to God is different.
It's sort of exciting to see it taking shape and to discuss our work when we're at our Shabbat service and talk about how it's very important to relax now that it's Shabbat. After our first work week, I remember we had a Shabbat. The whole tradition about it was resting. And it was cool to be able to sit around with the people that we're working with every day and be able to relax and tell each other that we value each other's work. It just gives everyone respect for each other on a lot of different levels.
I didn't really know the Havdalah service very well before. I've only been to a few, but now after a couple of weeks I'm starting to learn the songs, and I really enjoy passing the candle around and spelling smices and just being part of a group singing songs.
I've definitely learned that there's a large side of me that wants to help a lot of people, and I'm definitely going to continue this when I go home and definitely going to help more and more people as I get older. It's made me feel a little bit more happy to make other people happy.
When a group of 16 and 17-year-olds say, hey, I don't want to spend my summer at sleepaway camp, I want to help build a house for someone in need, it says such amazing things about the faith, that there's a quality instilled in all of us that says we want to help others. And it's not like, oh, I have to go build this house, oh, I have to do something nice. It's like, I see someone in need and I really want to be proactive and help them.
I'm excited to go back to school and maybe talk to other people and find out what other community service options and opportunities there are. I've sort of been interested in community service, but this is my first real big project. And I think when I'll reflect on it as probably one of the greatest experiences of my life.
I think that in order to think on a large scale level, we have to first start small. So we have to realize that although it may not seem like it, every little thing we do goes closer to creating a larger, much greater impact.
AJSS had a big impact on the way that I feel about service, the way that I look at service. It was able to become a part of my life on the trip.
It made me feel like so helpful and so happy I was there. And it was like an experience I really haven't had until this program.
AJSS has been a great experience and I would recommend it to anyone.